and the Celtics get a 7-point victory and lead 2-0. Time now for the post-game report. J.J. Redick and Doris Burke join us from Boston as they did after Game 1. And DB, I want to start with you. I look at this Boston team, and I thought going in that they just had a depth of scoring option that Dallas did not. We saw it with Porzingis in Game 1, and we see it tonight with Drew, a guy who doesn't require touches. He doesn't need anything, just such a pro. I wonder what you thought of his performance tonight.
We came on the telecast tonight talking about that Boston's success all year. Their dominance has been driven by their top six. Their scoring from the starting five all season long, whether it's been KP or Al, who started north of 35 games. Listen, I want you to think about something here, Scott. Luka and Kyrie combined for 45. What do you think Holiday and Drew White got? 44 combined. The two guys we often talk about the least were absolutely dynamic. They are up 2-0, Scott, and Jason Tatum is 12 for 41 and 29%. If that doesn't speak to their complete balance and team approach, really, it was incredible.
I agree.
Yeah,
go ahead, JJ, please.
Scott, I just would add to that, to Doris's point about the balance. Look, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, downhill drives have been so good for them in this series. They've been good for them all playoffs. But even when they're not making shots, they're getting 2 on the ball. Tatum with 12 assists tonight, Jaylen Brown with 7. So much of what they do in the half court is those guys being able to drive past their primary defender and draw help.
I believe the word, Doris, you used in the telecast was relentless, and it certainly is. They just get their momentum going downhill, and it leads to great things. On the other end of the floor, JJ, you're a guy that made your living shooting the ball from beyond the arc. Dallas goes 7 of 27 in Game 1, in a game where Luka had 30. They go 6 of 26 in Game 2, in a game where Luka had 30. Like, this script isn't going to work for them. I just wonder what do you do different if you're them, other than the obvious make more threes? I just wonder philosophically what the answer is.
Well, I think Jason Kidd wants to make this a series that becomes about who can make more twos. He trusts his guys, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, to be able to make those tough ISO twos. The defense from the Dallas Mavericks in terms of their rotations, yes, they gave up open shots, but to limit the Boston Celtics to 25% from 3, a lot of that had to do with the sense of urgency. So if you're thinking about a blueprint for how to get back, it's the blueprint tonight. You also have to make your free throws. That's probably the margin in this game, was the fact that Boston missed 1 free throw and Dallas missed 8.
And Scott, we talked a lot, right? You heard all this chatter about if Kyrie Irving was the second best player in this series, there was going to be trouble for the Boston Celtics. Kyrie is struggling shooting the basketball, 13 for 37. We keep waiting for that 4 or 5 minute stretch where he's absolutely electric and he's sustaining Dallas, because Luka Doncic alone will not get this done.
I'd love just a final thought from each of you about this. Dallas hangs around, and it was there in a sense, right? It's a 5-point game. You never know. An incredible block from White on the other end. But now you get to go home, and maybe you can lean into that, except for this. Boston goes on the road, and they've just been killers. I just wonder where you find optimism right now if you're Dallas, even though you're going home.
That's a great question. Look, Boston has been the best team in basketball this season. They've been the most dominant team in the regular season, despite having to go through an easy path to get here. They dominated the Eastern Conference playoffs. They're an excellent team. I think Doris mentioned this on the broadcast. When you want to beat the Boston Celtics, your margin for error is so small. So a lot of it comes down to a couple hustle plays, a turnover here and there. The play from Drew Holiday and Derek White, when Boston's just really struggling to score, really struggling to make threes. Holiday creates a turnover, eventually gets back to him for an open 3. It's plays like that. If you make those at home and you're Dallas, maybe it's a 2-1 game after Game 3.
We talked a lot tonight, Scott, about the Dallas defense being better, playing with more force and intention. They still haven't contained the ball, and I don't know that they've gotten complete engagement from Luka Doncic on the defensive end. There's still another level to get to defensively. They must reach it.
J.J. Redick, Doris Burke from Boston, Game 2. The Celtics take it by 7. Appreciate your time. Look forward to visiting after Game 3, okay?
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Appreciate you.